Hello, everyone. We are back. Another episode in the Design Lounge. This is the final episode of the collaboration series. And I love these episodes because we get to talk to a couple different brands, different perspectives, but obviously it came together for a common goal. And so this one's going to be super fun. We have Tony and Ruben, two different brands, two different backgrounds. One is fairly new, one has been around for almost 100 years. So this is going to be interesting. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Ruben, we'll start with you.
Okay, hi, I'm Ruben. I'm the creative director of Veronese. We're a French brand that specializes in Murano glass, and we're based out of Paris. That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
My name is Tony Piloseno, and I am the owner of Tonester Paints here in Orlando, Florida, where we specialize in creating custom and unique interior wall paints for the U.S. market and Europe.
Awesome, awesome. So, like I said, it's excited. It's fun getting everyone on. Ruben, you're in Paris. I'm a little jealous. I'm here in Arizona. I wish I was there where you were. Tony, you're back east. I can vibe with that as well. But this is the collaboration series, right? So when we talk about collaborations, we talk about how does a collaboration come together? And I know I've heard you say, Ruben, in the past that one of the most important aspects of you having a collaboration with someone is just liking the person, right? Just loving the human being as himself. So what I want to know from you is, besides the fact that both of you guys are like watch enthusiasts, what was it about Tony that drew you to him for you guys to have this collab?
That's funny. Well, the idea for my showroom is that we specialize in Murano glass and mostly in lightings. I didn't want the showroom to look like a lighting fixture showroom. I wanted it to look like an interior with a style, with um, some kind of warmth to it, and a place where we welcome a lot of people, where we host a lot of people, dinners and events and stuff like that. So basically, the whole idea about the brand and the showroom is to create this kind of ecosystem around us with people that we like and that we basically display in the place. And to be honest with you, the kind of colors on our walls, the paint was never a topic in my mind. And then Sarah, our PR agent, introduced us to each other, and it just clicked. So we started to talk about colors, we started to talk about design, interior design, architecture, and I mean, it was very, how do you say, organic. We very organically started to talk about a potential collaboration and coming up with new colors to display in our showroom that was going to be in accordance to the style that we wanted to give to the showroom for this season 24-25.
Totally,
So
totally. It just came together. And talking about the colors, I want to get into that later because the colors are amazing. They look amazing. Like Tony, you make paint cool. I'm sure I'm not the first
Yeah.
person that said that or thought of that, but you actually make like, okay, this is like culturally relevant paint. When you get approached or you guys get connected, what is it that you look for positive collaboration? Like, are there aspects, characteristics, things? I mean, obviously, like I said, you guys want to get along, right? But I'm sure that is the surface level, that is foundation, and you build upon that. So, what are the other aspects that you look for a thriving collaboration? Tony, I'll let you
um,
take this one.
y-
Well, in the sense of collaboration, like you mentioned in the beginning of the introduction, Tonester is a relatively new brand into the paint market, the design market. And working with Ruben and Veronese was kind of like my first step into that collaboration element, which we haven't really got into much before in the past, just because, like I said, it's so new. But
Totally.
I think the biggest element of it was just the connection that Ruben and I had when we had first met, because we met. It was about a year ago. It was January of this year.
Okay.
So, like
yeah.
Ruben said, it was super organic. We hit it off. And from there, it was just super easy to navigate the colors. Like Ruben said, kind of paint is really overlooked in the design element because it's not like I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. It is overlooked a lot in design, right?
Hmm.
So, kind of putting that emphasis with Ruben and kind of working together, I think it just made for a really organic collaboration. It worked really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I want to add two things. The first thing you said, like working with somebody that you can connect with is the foundation and you build up on that. I disagree with that. Okay,
Okay.
it's the most important thing. Okay,
Okay.
we are it's really important when you're starting a collaboration and basically starting to defend one another, how do you say, sorry, another, the other one's work.
Okay.
You have to uh, basically the fact that they're doing a good job is the foundation, okay?
Hmm.
And the fact that you want to defend their work, okay, on a day-to-day basis, because every person that steps into this showroom, I'm like talking about our collaborations, whether
Yeah.
for the sofa that I'm sitting on, the carpets, the vintage pieces, and the walls, okay, and I have to do that on the daily basis. So basically, it makes me happy um, to defend Tony's work because we built on that. The foundation is that he's making paint look cool, and that's the
Yeah.
second thing I wanted to add. The second thing is that you never when the average people are not thinking about the paint, okay?
Hmm.
Whether in terms of color or in terms of texture, you don't look at a wall saying to yourself, "Oh, that's cool." That's
Right.
that's just
Yeah.
something that you don't think about. And when
Hmm.
you start to think about it, then you start to really be able to pinpoint what you like, what you don't like, and the kind of mood that the paint creates into an environment. And so that's what we worked on with Tony to create the colors for this scenography.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a great point. Like you said, that and when I said it at the foundation, I was like, but yeah, it is everything, right? You have to really, be in alignment with not only brand values and what you bring to the table part creatively as well. When you're talking about a collaboration, in your case, like you said, people are coming to your showroom all the time, so it's like this is why I picked this person. He's amazing. He does
Right.
this. He does
Mm,
that. This is not only is he great at what he does, but he has all these other layers that you guys should know about. And again, like Tony, you make paint
exactly.
cool. I want to talk about Veronese being, again, a company 1931, I believe. So it's been 94 years. But I know
Exactly.
you guys are big on maintaining the spirit of discovery within the brand itself. What is it that a company that's been around a heritage brand for so long, when you see a company like Tonester, new in the game, but yet shaking things up, making paint look cool, what is it that you guys take from the collaboration? Because again, I think when I talk to a lot of people, the collaboration, they're already amazing each other by themselves individually, right? The companies themselves are already doing great work, and what they find is when they come together, it's something even greater, right? Or they're able to glean something off from that brand that maybe they can implement and now repurpose into their brand. So what is that you guys, from being a company that's almost 100 years old, get from Tonester? And then Tony, I want to follow up with you as well. What's it like for you, being a relatively newer brand, to be like, okay, I get to work for this heritage company. How is this changing maybe the outlook I have on the brand or just business or just anything in general?
Maybe you wanna start, Tony, or
Yeah, yeah, I'll start. I guess in the sense it was really when the opportunity approached with to work with Ruben and Veronese for this specific collaboration. It was like truly an honor. Like I swear when I first went to Veronese earlier this year, like I was completely mind blown by the operation. Actually, Ruben had taken me into the it's super cool. You'll have to check it out when you go to Paris in January.
Yeah, I will
The
be
the
there.
art
You already told me.
oh,
I'm
you
planning
come,
on like,
Brandon.
yeah, I'll
yeah.
be
Yeah.
there for May. Actually, I land on my birthday, so I'm planning on landing on my birthday.
Happy
My birthday's the
birthday.
15th. Yeah, exactly. So we'll have a little party. But yeah, no, I plan to definitely check it out.
Well, I was gonna
Okay.
say what was really mind blowing when going to Veronese for the first time was the archive section that you have in the
Mm,
lower floor, Ruben, and
okay.
just seeing the years and years of different products, different like design elements with the glass, just over like you mentioned, it's 94 years old.
Totally.
I remember looking at products from I believe it was like the 70s. So just being aligned with a brand that's been around for so long, um, and kind of having the newer perspective like that Toaster has with color. I thought it was a very, very cool experience, and I was very, very grateful for the opportunity too. It was very, very cool.
Well, I guess it's exactly the same for me, but just from another perspective. When I see what Tony is able to do with in an area where I wouldn't dare to launch any new company because I would have felt that it's so busy. You have so many brands that are existing, and the fact that he went there, the fact that he's doing. I mean, you sum it up very in the right way. You make paint look cool. Like I was. I admire that
Hmm.
in a way. And when you're dealing with a company that's an heritage brand, there is a kind of pressure on your shoulders because um, you've been around for almost 100 years, and you don't really care about the current trend. You want to be around in the next 100 years.
100 years. Yeah.
Right.
Um, so but the idea is that this pressure that you have on your shoulders when you see somebody that is as authentic, genuine, with this nice energy as Tony, this is exactly the kind of energy you need to be around in 100 years. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
and
No.
so I need that. I need this kind of new blood and energy um, to just keep the how do you say, to just keep the fluid rolling in
Yeah.
the in the system, you know.
No.
Otherwise, you just get um, you get stuck by your own tradition. And I always say, like, tradition is what your know-how is what you do with your know-how because you do it every day and every day. And you're used to do it. But what matters really is the know-how and what you do with it. And then you try to take a new approach on things that you're already doing. And that's exactly, basically, Tony is looking at his business the same way that we are looking at Murano glass. Okay, it's like paint is an old business. It's been around
Hmm.
for forever. Okay,
Exactly.
so but how do you make it cool in 2024, almost five?
Totally.
Exactly.
That's
Totally.
uh that's the question.
That's the $1 million question. It looks like, and you've done it. You Tony, been able to do it with millions of followers. It's almost like that battery pack, right? Like that energy, that energized, that fresh perspective. And I think I was reading. I mean, what was it, Tony? 2022. You were said that you weren't able to build a business online, and now here we are.
Yeah.
2 years later,
Well,
and you're able to do that.
the like Ruben mentioned, and this is the feedback that I've gotten just from a lot of people over the journey of starting the Tonester brand, is that the paint market is too competitive. I've been told that a bunch of times. Like there are legacy companies that control
Hmm.
like uh, most of the market, right? And like you have your companies in the United States like Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, Behr, that they sell most of the paint, right? So, like Ruben said, taking the chance to even trying to get into the market was a challenge within itself. But then separating yourself from those brands to make it unique, the focus of color quality, um, and then the other weird thing too is we do mostly e-commerce. Like we use the social media to promote the product, and we ship all over the United States and Europe, which
Direct to
is
consumer,
another
right?
thing. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We do direct to consumer, and it was another thing. A lot of people had told me was you can't. No one's going to buy paint online. You can't.
Hmm.
It's one of those things that I think actually like through 2020 and COVID, where e-commerce, where people were more comfortable buying things like paint online, really kind of helped me in a way. It was really, really, really good timing. Um, but yeah, there's been all kinds of remarks like that where there were challenges to overcome, but it wasn't impossible to do, especially with a creative vision for the brand and the color palette.
Totally, totally. I mean, and it's honestly hearing you say that, Ruben, and hearing you talk about that, Tony. It's like, here, Veronese has been around for 94 years. You're a brand new company. I feel like what I'm hearing is that fact that you were in this heritage industry, if you will, right? Whereas you weren't put in a position where you were forced to innovate. So
Yeah.
the only way for you to break through was your innovation? Was you essentially doing everything opposite of what everyone else was? And you proved that to be successful. And then, like I said, mirroring that with what you're saying, Ruben, is that you've been in business for 100 years. You guys have been successful. You see also how to, not you already know how to innovate, but it's like, okay, this is the next 100 years, right? This is the next century of Veronese. We are now, although we have these 100 years of tradition, but now we're going to innovate for the next 100. So it's almost the blending of two brands, totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but the same ethos, if you will, going forward.
Yeah, it did work out
Yeah,
perfectly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you just made me realize that we don't know each other a year, and
Well, and it feels like
and
we've known each other forever, and like
yeah,
it's been.
exactly.
I know I literally was thinking the exact same thing when I said that to myself as well. It's like it hasn't even been a
Yeah,
year; it's been
Right?
10 months. It's wild,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. I honestly thought it was like September 23, and yeah, no, it was January 24. So and the thing is that it's such a small world that so we saw each other in Paris, then we
Okay.
saw each other in Milano,
Okay.
um, and the fact that you like meet at this very it's always high moments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like you're in a rush, you're running all the time, but and you know that in these moments when you want to spend an extra 10 minutes with somebody, it's like, okay, it sounds good already.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it sound and it was like the work on the color palette was like so easy.
Oh, it was
Um,
beyond easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I, I,
yeah,
want- I want I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this collaboration because I think this is going to air. It just launched the beginning of this month, just December, right? December 1st, if you will. So it's only been a few weeks now since the launch of the
September.
four colors. So
Yeah.
okay, September. So it's been over a month. So
Yeah,
let's dig more into that again. So there's four colors, right? So kind of
Yeah,
yep.
four
explain, can you
colors.
explain what it is and what the offer is and everything that you guys are doing within that.
Um, So there are two things.
Okay.
So we met in the second time we met, it was in Milano in April, and I was
Yeah.
working on the September event. And when I met Tony, I was like, "Oh, but Tony, I'm working on this event. It's gonna be like a winter garden in the 70s, and look what I've got." And I started to show him the pieces of furniture that I was sourcing to put together the event, and there were these ceramic panels that date back from the late 1800s.
Okay.
And I wanted the color palette of the showroom to be and yeah, to be inspired from that panel,
Okay.
and that was that was the first and then we had a conversation about colors and why I like dark colors, and then he made the magic happen. You want
Yeah, because the
It
after
kind
hours,
of
I think you said the after hours is the one I think you mentioned. Well, that is like the Veronese like brand in itself. But that sums
yeah,
it up. That color of the four.
the after hours was the Ruben inspired color. I remember
Okay.
Ruben had mentioned it was in Milan that it's the colors that he preferred and that I prefer, obviously with the color palette that I've already had and the colors that I made in the past, is the almost black color where it's very very dark but the color is still apparent when you're around it in the
Mm-hmm.
space. So After Hours was directly inspired for the that color palette. But as Ruben mentioned, like I remember we were at dinner in Milan and we were going over the just images of what the ceramic tiles were going to look like, the furniture, all like that kind of fun stuff. Follow up a few months later, we coordinate a small Ruben. I think I sent about like 12 different colors just to
yep.
kind of that were inspired by the peacock, the ceramic, everything like that. We picked them out. And yeah, it was relatively easy. It worked out really, really well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I basically said, okay, those ones are the four, those four ones are the one we're gonna go with, and
right.
there were no back and forth, and uh, I want a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that, and nope. Uh,
What I was gonna say, with this being like my first solidified collaboration with Tonester, I'm hoping that any ones that I have in the future, they're probably not going to be as easy as the one with
Right?
Ruben and Veronese, because it was very, very easy, and it was very, very thorough, and it just was very, very smooth as well. Is
You
very,
got
very
yeah,
spoiled.
cool.
You got spoiled in
I
the
got
first one.
spoiled. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got spoiled.
so and the four colors: After Hours, Bloomhouse, Eden Garden, and St. Martin. Right?
Yeah,
The you guys again both great at what you do. Obviously, Tony, we know you're amazing at marketing, right? You broke through in a couple years. Berenice, again, very much on marketing, very well. How do you guys divvy up the work and even like the naming? Because the naming was, I love the names, and I'm all about naming. How do you
the
guys determine
names.
who does what?
Honestly, the names I'm going to give the whole credit to Tony because again, he sent me like four ideas, and I was like, you know what? That's perfect. We can spend another more time trying to do something better, but it's not worth the time that we're going to put it into because it's already really, really, really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let let's just go for it. And so yeah, the rest I don't know, we started we got the paint when like mid-August, and we started to paint late August,
Yeah, it
something
was
like that.
yeah, I believe I sent it. We had all the paint made. We sent it in our. We have a new matte ceramic finish that we also sent to Ruben for the project. So that's the paint base that we made it in. Yeah, we had everything in Paris in July. It's very easy.
Yeah,
There was really no delays or anything like that too. And going back to the color names, for basically how I name most of my colors, and even in the palette that we did for Veronese, just very, very organic. Like the After Hours color obviously was inspired by this infamous party that Veronese
hmm
has.
okay.
Um, so that was kind of inspired by that. It was very like cool color. Bloomhouse, that was inspired by like the just the floral aspects of the ceramic. Eden Garden, which is like the winter garden. It was very, very organic. It worked out perfectly.
yeah. And I have to say like it's quite successful. Like people are like, oh, that's yeah,
It looks really good. Yeah.
it's kind of unusual, and yeah, it's really
He makes
cool.
it he makes it easy to defend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
I can
so
take you through the showroom to show it to you if you want.
yeah, I would love to. I want to ask though. Okay, so now that you do that, I know you guys update the showroom what every September. Is that a thing? I
Yeah,
believe I read correctly. But you guys have done this now first collaboration. It seemed like it went so well, so easy. Is there going to be future collaborations as well? Is this going to be a one
I
done? Are
hope
we
so.
gonna have to come back,
I'm
Well,
hoping
I
it's
hope
or is there
annual.
so.
many?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, I we're started to work on September 25 as we speak.
Okay.
I haven't spoke to Tony yet.
Oh, so
Um,
we love this. We love breaking news on in the design lounge. So maybe we can get it
well,
going.
I it's going to be um, it's going to be an homage to the 80s. Um, and so yeah, there is definitely something that we can work on. We'll see. We'll see. We have surprises.
I can't wait. Talking about that. Before you take us around and give us a tour, let us know. So what do you guys have going on next? What can I expect down the pike from Tonester? What can I expect about down the way from Berenice? What do you guys have going on?
Well, on the Tonester end, actually, the introduction, which was a beautiful way to display it, like I mentioned before, was that matte ceramic paint that Ruben was given to Ruben for the Veronese showroom. That's going to be now released to the public and available on our product line in the near future, going into the
Okay.
winter and into 2025. So just kind of working on that, trying to demonstrate to clients, customers about like the durability of that paint, like the cool finish. Just navigating that through the Tonester product line. That's my
Awesome.
main focus as of right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then Ruben, what do you guys have going on?
Well, we're working on the next 100 years. Uh,
I mean, that's true.
and
It's interesting you say that because when you think of these heritage companies, and I just want to break up real quick because that's a great point. People that are watching this, interior designers, right? They're like, okay, how do I survive the next 18 months, right? How do I get from inception to idea to 3 years where you're at now, Tony? But it's like you guys think in decades. So I think that's a great point to be like, what's going to be going on, and how am I going to be sustainable and that much more lucrative a brand in 24 as opposed to 2024. So I just want to make sure
y-
people take note of that.
yeah, so when we launch a collection, we also like to launch systems
Okay.
that allow us to do multiple version of one piece. So we set a design identity, and then we're playing with it. So there is rarely a model that is really set on its proportions and details. The identity of the design needs to be stronger and needs to be somewhere. So we just released a new collection that is based on a simple box that's called ETA.
Okay.
Um, and it allows the architects and the clients to basically plug any piece of glass that they want. So as a standard, we have a library of 8 pieces, but if you take the concept and start to play with it, then it becomes then comes the fun.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on, and a lot of smaller lights, table lamps, um, and a new collection of how do you say it? Vase or vase? Vases or
We say base. You say base, right, Tony?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, a new collection of vases that's going to be released, I think in January.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. No, I can't wait.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming I'll let you. You can give us the tour now. I'm assuming that in January
yeah.
the colors will still be up.
Oh yeah, they will be up, and the scenography I think will stay till July, and then
Okay.
in July we're gonna change things a little bit. So I'm just starting there because it's the kitchen, and
Okay.
that's the main.
Yeah.
It's very
I
important for
hear
us
the
because we host a lot.
yeah. I
What?
hear the kitchen. You said the kitchen is the main room for you. Like that. That's where everything happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, when we moved from our previous showroom, we took this place and fully gutted it. And with the architect, the main focus was like on the kitchen. Everything important happens in the kitchen, and I wanted to host in my kitchen, so this is where everything happens, and this is where we host. And now we have like all the Tony's colors,
Okay.
and you see it. This is a piece that dates back from the 1950s. It was done for a cruise
Perfect.
liner,
And
and
what color was that? This is that green?
that's the green. That's
Yeah.
the turquoise. I didn't. You know what? I don't know which one is which, but for the after hours because I named them after. Like I used. I'm sorry. I'm
That
so
one
sorry.
is
Tony, help me. That
that one is Saint Martin.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very vibrant. Like you can tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you I think my favorite is this one.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite too.
Is that the
I
mauve?
think
Is that the mauve color one?
that's Bloomhouse, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. It's like it's a pinkish gray, but that's very elegant. that's very powdery, uh, velvety.
It does
Just
it
amazing.
in real life. It does look like a velvet finish on a wall. It
Okay.
looks like it doesn't even look like paint. It almost looks like it's some
Yeah.
sort of like
What
fabric material. It's very, very cool.
now? Which one is the most popular thus far with the market? What are people responding to the most?
After hours, we've sold
Okay.
mostly the gowns that we've sold were Bloomhouse and After Hours.
Okay. Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
They're just
I
both
love
beautiful
dark
colors.
colors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was going to ask you, Tony, that with the kitchen being the most important aspect, you were going to repaint the kitchen color or do a kitchen color. What would you do it in?
The kitchen? Ooh. Well, the thing is about kitchens and places of gathering, like living rooms, that kind of stuff, like Ruben mentioned, where people are gathering and talking, you kind of want to keep that not as you know, more mid-tone, maybe even like a
Okay.
lighter color. I know Ruben's the kitchen there is black, right? It's
yeah,
black
yeah,
but I'm always open for like the kitchen spaces and having like a lighter or mid-tone color just to keep it open, airy, that kind of stuff. But Ruben's the kitchen in the Veronese room is beautiful too. Lighting plays a
yeah.
factor into it as well. It's beautiful.
I
So,
mean,
so
I love dark colors in interiors because people are always afraid to use them, but when you
Hmm.
have them on the wall, whether you're in a small place or a big place, it creates this kind of comfy,
hmm
Yeah.
cocooning feeling. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, that's actually a battle I lost with my wife.
sometimes you gotta lose the battle to win the war. That's what it is, especially in that
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, "No, we're not going to do dark colors in our home." I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, no
Okay. Yeah,
problem."
I have my showroom. Okay. Well,
Exactly.
you guys, I love it. Thank you for taking up the time. I can't wait to see it. Like I said, hopefully I'm in there in January. I can stop in and see the colors firsthand and check out the
Yeah.
showroom. But I love what you guys do. Can't wait to hear more. See you guys on social. I know Tony, you got stuff all the time. Ruben, you guys have stuff all the time. And yeah, just thanks for taking time this morning. Well, my morning. It's a little bit later where you guys are at. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Brandon. I
much.
appreciate it.
No,
Yeah,
this has
really.
been fun. And like I said, I
Yeah, I
definitely
can't
plan.
wait.
Oh
I
no,
can't
I
wait to
love it.
welcome you here. I
I
can't
can't
wait.
wait to be
Yeah.
there. It was funny. We were talking about Maison, and they were like, "Okay, so it's in January. They knew my birthday was in January. They were like, is that going to be a reason for you not to want to go, or a reason for you want to go?" And I'm like, Paris for my birthday? Of course I want to go.
Uh,
And me
Yeah.
being in Arizona, I haven't been able to layer in years. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring coats, and I can't wait for it, especially for a week. So I am looking forward to it, and then of course seeing you guys at the showroom. So yeah, and soon. It's only a couple months away.
Yeah. Can't
Yeah, I
wait.
know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, time
That's
flies.
only
right, right. I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I will see you guys soon, and thanks again.
No,
Well,
Brandon, thank
thank
you. I
you.
appreciate it. This was very, very fun.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.